This is C.R.P.H.A, Humanitarian Advocate. This particular video is going to be a message to Bloomberg, Steyer, Bernie Sanders, and the rest of the DNC idiots. But also, I might mention also um, uh, if you want to call it a recap, to the video I did yesterday when it came to the other idiot in the Democratic Party uh, by the name of Darrell Steinberg, and who is currently uh, a former senator, a current mayor of Sacramento. Uh, but I'm going to start with on a different aspect because I know that I will. We'll see. What I could do is if I do decide, you may see a link below to the video I did yesterday that had to do with the homeless situation and everything else. And then on that one, on the bottom of that description of the video description, is the link to what I did with my phone when I was on one of my outings on the same day. The one particular thing now. Bloomberg said that he was standing on the smoldering areas of the Twin Tower site after after the towers fell during 9/11. Bloomberg doesn't realize those smoldering areas could easily have been not bur- uh, not not residual burning ash, but burning flesh. Thereby, you Bloomberg were possibly standing on flattened human remains. That's not a thing to be proud of, Bloomberg. And on top of that, you want to reinstate Obamacare? Obamacare has not done anything positive for the American people. It's cost more money than any American person with even low income uh, with a low income employment and low income, shall we say, in the sense of their budget to start with, and their finances, and the sense of only getting the level of low income wages, if you will. Um, Nobody can afford that. Only the people with loads of fucking cash continuously can afford the Obamacare. So, and basically, the healthcare situation is supposed to benefit everybody, you idiot, not just a select few. Trump did the right thing by completely wiping clean the Obamacare. Obamacare had it literally bankrupted a number of people, even after it was first put into action under the Obama administration. So Bloomberg, you just lost out. You cannot reinstate something that you know damn well that has been completely torn apart, taken piece by piece by piece, and reinstated as something better that's beneficial for the American people that has no label to the base of Obamacare. You cannot build upon the base of Obamacare when it's already been completely eliminated. And if you build up and by reinstating it, you're a fucking fool. And thereby that shows the Democrats don't give a damn about the American people. They don't really have the fucking clear base of thought of what the American people want. So Bloomberg, you have lost out. You also lost out on the aspect of not putting your campaign into the first Super Tuesday situation in the what was it, in Nevada, before, of course, before Super Tuesday. You decided to wait until Super Tuesday, essentially, I know, but um, by not putting your campaign and not campaigning in Nevada like you were supposed to, along with your other constituents that were running even against you in the same party in the DNC, you will lose out. Now, the PD, the PD idiot in the Democratic DNC, uh, you're a weakling. You do not know anything about politics. You do not know what the American people truly want. You're only going by hearsay, and your level of hearsay, PD, um, is not really, shall we say, solid. Uh, and to the female bitch, Amy or Anna or whatever, you in the DNC running while they were going against Bernie Sanders as well. Uh, you think that Trump is tearing apart this country? No, he's doing the very thing that Trump is doing. The very thing that the American people want is uniting the country. Trump has united the country, has helped the country, and helped the American people to where the American people are more than benefited, where our youth is more than benefited in the educational aspect and otherwise. You idiot, bitch, and Amy or Anna, whatever the fuck, in the DNC, you do not know politics. You cannot simply think that you know Trump when you don't. You think that he's tearing apart the country when he's not. You're basically losing out as it is anyway. So you just dug your hole even deeper. So did Bloomberg. So did Tom Steyer. And so did Bernie Sanders. And so did Elizabeth Warren. And so did Joe Biden. Now, Bernie Sanders, you know you'll be losing against Trump. And to declare right in the DNC, as you did while they were going against you, um, you think you can just tell a president of Russia what's not going to happen, as if you pointed the finger of fault of what happened in the 2016 election? Do you not get the fucking fact, Bernie Sanders, that that Russia had no involvement? Thereby, you just fucking dug your grave politically as well as humanitarianly and spiritually. Bernie Sanders, you have no spiritual, humanitarian, and no logical right to continuously think that Russia was the reason why Trump won. Russia was the reason why our party lost. So we can't continue with the socialism bullshit that this country needs. One, Bernie Sanders, Nobody in this country wants socialism. We don't want concentration camps like it was in World War during and before World War II, when Hitler and his regime put innocent people in concentration camps before and during WW2. We don't want the same thing in this country. Thereby, we don't want socialism. I'm telling you this, Bernie Sanders, and I'm telling every one of your little constituents that you're campaigning against in the DNC. So it not only goes towards you, Bernie Sanders, it goes to every fucking idiot in the DNC and every little fucking feminist bitch in the DNC. So you can say this whole message and advocate video um, is directed towards the DNC idiots. But also, I'm informing the American people of what the real aspect and truth is compared to what you idiots in the DNC have said and tried to proclaim and tried to get people to believe. Mango juice. As I've said, Bernie Sanders, you'll be crushed like an ant between if you went against Trump. Tom Steyer would be completely wiped clean. Mike Bloomberg, you have no fucking chance whatsoever. Especially the fact that you did not put your campaign particular thing into Nevada, which basically hurts you even more. And also, Elizabeth Warren knows she has no chance because it is still standing strong that nobody in this day and time, in this part of the century, till possibly 2099, possibly, unless we have another person like Trump by that point, or even before that point, um, that nobody wants a female in the White House as our commander in chief, Elizabeth and Amy. Because what's been happening in today's society when it comes to the newsworthy world, as it were, informing the American people of what they have a right to know, along with what I've been doing, which basically is informing people, the American people, way more than the news is able to, due to the FCC contracts that each news affiliate station has with the FCC. Um, Elizabeth, the one fact of it is, I believe that every woman can do many things. I've believed that ever since I was very young. But in accordance to the the political genre, no woman would be able to handle anything politically with and when it came to various serious issues, you would you would not be able to handle it emotionally, psychologically, or any other way. Women can be strong, but the one thing is, things have not gotten too light quite yet to where a woman would be able to handle even to see carnage and even to be able to be around foul smells like dead bodies and corpses and such like that. And due to the basis of, say, wars or what have you else. Um, and also other tragedies and disasters. And I'm not. This is not a. This is not a poke fun towards the female gender. I respect the female gender, aside from the fact that uh, women have done men wrong since 1990 in the marital aspect. But this is not about the marital aspect. That's a totally separate issue and situation. Um, but Elizabeth Warren and Amy, if that isn't indeed your name, um, or any other whatever the other females' names are in the DNC, I don't really care. Um, you don't seem to really realize your objective is to do what Obama did, essentially, to become the first female in the uh, in his country's history. That's how that would be a good thing. But you're doing it for the wrong reason. If you if you and your little idiot candidates in the DNC didn't start saying that you were there for socialism, even though you were at the same point in time, you DNC idiots don't realize this. You just screwed yourself. You just literally screwed yourself on that. Bernie Sanders is about to screw himself. Mike Bloomberg is about to screw himself, especially when it comes to trying to reinstate Obamacare when he can't. And if he even attempted to, then he would easily lose out. Because nobody wants a high cost fucking healthcare. If you want to call it social medicine type of healthcare, it's not. It's the base of socialism, and nobody wants socialism. All right. Obama knew what he was doing. He didn't care if it nearly bankrupted the American people or not. And Bloomberg obviously is in the same fucking mindset, obviously, on that aspect. If he thinks he's going to be able to build up and reinstate Obamacare when he will not be able to. And I'll make damn sure of it. Even if I have to go through the Supreme Court themselves, I will do so. Even if I have to go through the Supreme Court in California and other states, I will do so. Even if I have to go through the Supreme Courts in that would even be connected to the Washington, D.C. Supreme Court, I will do so. Because you Democratic idiots think you can talk your way into shit and slither your fucking bullshit into the minds and of the of innocent people like them being the American people and make them think that you mean what you say when you know you don't. There's a saying for that. Um, let's see. Obama promised a lot of shit he didn't pull through. He did the opposite of what he promised. Even when it came to our military, he weakened our military. He weakened the National Aeronautics Space Association, NASA. He weakened hospitals because of the Obamacare situation. He he caused no positive aspects for any small business to even make it in the business world due to the Obamacare situation. He literally acted like a little child and slammed the door on C-SPAN and the Republicans' face, including with he slammed the door on John Boehner's face and the rest of the Republican Party in the House at the time. And when it came down to really needing things to be done, he just ignored it. The things that needed to be done to benefit this country, benefit the American people and our youth, he ignored it. So did Obama. So did Michelle Obama. But the only thing Michelle Obama did that was not logical was she used presidential power against the Mars Company when it came to the king size Snickers, and the Olive Garden situation of telling the Olive Garden idiots to listen to the parents, not the child. So the child wouldn't be able to say what they wanted, as long as it was okay I mean, basically, even if it was okay with the parents for the child to decide what they wanted to eat, what the child wanted to eat, essentially. The parents had to make the decision, like basically Michelle Obama was saying in that sense, is saying, well, the child doesn't know any better, so let the parents decide for them. The base of building confidence and trust within the child is allowing them to choose decide what they want, and if there's a bit of a reason for the child not to get it, then of course the parents would logically and innocent and respectfully and gradually explain it to the child without taking away their confidence and trust within the child within the child's self, essentially. So Michelle Obama did the wrong thing there. And there's also a base of all talk and no action. Case in point, Darrell Steinberg. Now, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Tom Steyer, Amy, if that is again your real name, Mike Bloomberg, Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders. You're a candidate. You're a party idiot, being, of course, Darrell Steinberg, has said even before he became um, the mayor of Sacramento, before he became mayor of Sacramento, he's been going on the media, in the news, uh, out there, out in various locations, saying that he would do things for the homeless as well as those with low income situations when it comes to housing. Very little has happened on that aspect, and yet he made it sound more in the sense that it would actually be more than minimal. But the only minimal part was starting from San Mateo County and City and Mountain View in the Santa Clara County, San Jose in the Santa Clara County, and maybe one particular area in, I think, Roseville in the surrounding city of Sacramento was the base of low income to start with. And yet he talked more about housing for the homeless. I made a video yesterday with my phone and to prove that he's full of shit. Because when that went into actuality, instead of it being a full aspect of where there'd be a wide assortment, a wide abundance of low-income housing for those on low-income income, low-income wages, if you will, especially when it comes to working in, say, Social Security situations. Instead of it being a wide assortment, there was very little. That doesn't really show any positive beneficial on parts of and behalf of the party in any beneficial in any positive viewing towards the party. It and also on my phone, if you were to look very closely, which I have on YouTube by itself, and on the description of one of my advocate videos that I did yesterday actually, on 225, which was yesterday again, I guess. It will be of course 225/2020. From where I was standing, I was over at the light rail station near the across from the Cathedral Church, the Sacramento Cathedral Church. Okay. No, I'm not part of the Cathedral Church in any religious way. I am a part of a certain church, but that's not that. What church is, or that I am a part of officially, is nobody's business but my own and Heavenly Father's. But anyways, on the side of that building of the cathedral, Sacramento Cathedral, was a homeless man laying against the bottom step on the side of the church. That small stairway led to the walkway or office or some sort of section of the building that would lead in the building, somewhere in the building, and outside of the building, on the side of the building facing the two stations of the cathedral light rail stop of the two cathedral light rail stops going in either direction, right? And on the front cover of the main video, where it has Darrell Steinberg, the Democratic symbol, and it has a close-up picture of the homeless man that I mentioned just about a minute ago here. That's proof positive that Darrell Steinberg is full of shit. It doesn't take over 4 to 5 years for something to actually happen for both those on low income, supplemental security income situations when it comes to housing, and for those that don't have any housing, being the homeless. It doesn't take that long for something to be put together. It may take some time within maybe weeks, maybe a few months within the same year after he proposes it. That part is understandable, but 4.5, 4.25 to 5 years, no. Especially when the need is practically getting greater and greater and greater and greater and greater every time. Do you realize that when I went pardon, when I went over to do some grocery shopping one time, there was about 3 to 4 tents below the double overpass where Lonnie Wong was standing. Lonnie Wong on Fox 40 News. And on one of my other travels, right in between the split off of the light rail track, okay, there was a homeless tent right on the dirt section in between the two split offs of the turns of between the two parts of the track that the lateral trains go down, right? And also, there's been tents in below the overpass of where the light rail goes across, and where the other vehicles also go across on the overpass there, right? And there's been other instances like in the American River and various other areas, and that shows that Darrell Steinberg is full of shit. Thereby, that would put literally the Democratic Party as all talk and no positive beneficial action for the American people in this country. Along with the fucking fact that the Democratic Party is going against the Constitution in such a way by blanketing and protecting illegals. Nancy Pelosi thinks that she knows the Constitution. If she knew the Constitution, she would know that action is not constitutionally logical, and she would put a stop to it. And also, Nancy Pelosi also knows that the base of making a state into a sanctuary state, thinking that the president of the United States would not be able to do a damn thing to the state for the beneficial base of and the beneficial aspects for the American people in that state or states, plural. Being that, of course, New York is another sanctuary idiotic state. Along with the sanctuary cities within those same states. But in the constitutional aspect, guess what? If you go against the Constitution, the President of the United States, in this case Donald J. Trump, has every constitutional right to do what he feels right that benefits the American people in every state, including those that are declared sanctuary. And with that, the states cannot sue the administration of Trump's administration for acting on something that's positive for the American people, and thinking that and trying to make the president look bad by trying to sue him, by also claiming that the president can't do that to us, seeing that we're sanctuary. Guess what? You go against the Constitution, he can. There's nothing in the Constitution that states that if a state is declared sanctuary, which is also still against the Constitution of the United States of we the people, it doesn't state that the president has no leeway or reason to involve any action or put any action in or against even the beneficial aspects of the people that live in that state. So for California to try to sue the Trump administration is a lost cause for the Democratic Party, big time, because they'll lose. Because within the Constitution, like I said, Trump has more of a say-so over any declared sanctuary state and status in accordance to the Constitution, because the state government has gone against the Constitution. Even by blanketing and protecting the illegals, which is also against the Constitution. Jerry Brown knew this. He didn't care. He just went ahead and done. Gavin Newsom knows this, but yet he's keeping it. He's trying to keep it as if it's the right thing to do when it's not. You go against the Constitution, Gavin, you pay the price, even spiritually. Because you're not supposed to benefit those who are not officially and legally part of our country. Though, and yet you don't benefit the American people who are legally in the state, but you want to benefit and protect and blanket those who come across the border illegally. You, Gavin Newsom, will be paying the price with your mortal soul, spiritually as well as otherwise, even politically. Case in point, Jerry Brown's already paying the price. He doesn't know it, but he is. So Donald J. Trump has every reason, constitutionally and otherwise, to do something that he knows to be beneficial for the American people that live in both so-called declared sanctuary states and cities. And it doesn't negatively affect the farmers. It doesn't negatively affect any base of crop growth as much as the liberal idiots in both California and New York may think, or try to make the American people believe, when the Liberal Democrats are full of shit in the fucking first place. So, Mike Bloomberg, Tom Steyer, Elizabeth Warren, Amy, if that's indeed your real name again, PD, Bernie Sanders, and if I said Elizabeth Warren too, I know that, but and also Joe Biden. You guys are, and the rest of the DNC, you guys think that you know what's best for this country. All you're doing is extending falsehoods, things that you know you won't keep, that you promise the American people, that you want the American people to believe, which is true when it's not. Obama did the same shit. We learned our lesson, didn't we? Bernie Sanders, you cannot proclaim anything against the Russian government because Russia has been our ally even after the involvement between Reagan and Gorbachev. After everything was said and done and everything was all, shaking hand type of aspects, what have you, um, they've been our ally. They haven't done shit against the American people. The one that has done wrong against the American people in the very country that this person was supposed to defend, protect, and many other positive things was Obama. He spent our tax dollars to start with, even in his first term, by using Air Force One to fly to countries that we had no involvement in, and no negative clashes in apologizing to those countries in behalf of the American people and the United States of America. He made the United States look weak by doing that illogical bullshit of an action. A president is not supposed to make the country look weak. A president is not supposed to be doing things that does not benefit the American people and its youth. A president is not supposed to be doing anything that shows any aspect of, shall we say, an open wound, an easy leeway of attack procedures that any number of countries may have or plan to do against us. Thank Heavenly Father we got Trump, because Trump is making sure that every country knows that this country is stronger than ever, that it's more than well defended than it's ever been. The economy situation is better than it's ever been. The healthcare situation is growing in a positive light, thanks to Trump. The educational situation is growing for our youth in a positive light, thanks to Trump. So basically, the DNC has no fucking leeway on any situation, base and level, and anything else for that matter. To try to say that, that Trump is tearing this country apart when he's not. He's done everything beneficial for the American people in this country, even to and for those who consider him not to be their president, when in fact he is their president. And I've said many times before that Trump has said this, that those who support Trump, he will work for equally as hard as for those who did not support him in the election. And those who like him and dislike him, same thing. He'll work hard for both sides. You DNC idiots cannot say the same thing. You DNC idiots know you have no positive path in accomplishing your objective, which is socialism, and socialism is not a positive thing. You want to fucking fight me about it? Come on. Bernie Sanders, you wouldn't be able to stand being around me, because you know that I'd be harder than a fucking rock, harder than a fucking titanium, to get your fucking socialist bullshit agenda aspects through in this head, to make me believe what you say. Same thing goes for every one of you other DNC idiots. Same thing goes for those in the California government, as well as those in the Washington government, in the Democratic Party. Not even Nancy Pelosi herself would be able to convince me of otherwise. But I say this: if you think you can, and if anybody in the Democratic Party thinks that they can convince me of otherwise, I will put the challenge out in you trying to convince me face to face. Not by the news media, not by conversations within the Capitol. that you have with other parties and such, and besides your own. Just mano a mano. Are you up for it? DNC idiots? Are you up for it? Gavin Newsom? Are you up for it? Darrell Steinberg? Are you up for it? Chuck Schumer? Nancy Pelosi? Or is it the fact that you don't want to waste time and effort? Because basically you know what you have tried to convince the American people is full of shit. Being that what you say to the American people, is full of shit. The American people, you think, are brain dead zombies. I don't think the American people are brain dead zombies. I believe in the American people. I believe in the U.S. Constitution and what that flag stands for. I believe in what that Statue of Liberty is the reason why she's there, even as she welcomes immigrants that come into this country illegally. So basically, Bernie Sanders and the rest of the DNC idiots and bitches, and the Democratic idiots in Washington, D.C., including Nancy Pelosi, the Democratic idiots in the California and New York government. If you think you can convince me of otherwise, I put the challenge out that you make the more than an effort to come to face me. Make it a more than an effort to meet me somewhere and face me and try to convince me that if Trump is the wrong choice for this country. You won't be able to. I can guarantee you that. But the basic fact is, I'm putting the challenge out there. As a strong, spiritually strong, emotionally, psychologically strong American citizen and advocate for our youth and the American people in this country, I put the challenge out there to the Democratic Party and and the idiots and the bitches in the DNC. Do not proclaim shit in the DNC. You need to take the challenge that I put out there just now. And that goes to the points to where, before anything else is said and done, by you DNC idiots have to do one thing now. Whether to take the challenge that I put out there, and if you ignore it, and if you deny to take the challenge, then you've proven my point. You're all talk and no action. And you are not truly about the American people, and you are not truly about this country in any positive, beneficial thing or level for the American people and our youth and the future. And you're only about socialism, and nobody wants socialism, guaranteed. I'm putting it out there right now, that challenge that I've mentioned. It's out there, and it's still hanging out there till such time I decide otherwise. Or until you decide to take the challenge head on. Until then, don't bullshit the American people with your fucking political commercial campaign thing, And don't bullshit the American people in the DNC caucus either. Because everything I've said in this video and everything I've said in the other video from yesterday and many other videos before that is going to stand to be 100% true. 100% logical and factual. Now that the challenge is put out there, it is up to the Democratic Party to take the challenge. And if they don't, then basically they will be proven to the American people that the Liberal Party is not worth voting for, and that the Liberal Party is all talk and no positive beneficial action, and they're out to really destroy this country, not build this country. You want to say that I'm doing this in behalf of Trump? You can. I don't care. But I'm doing this because I know it to be right. Because I know that how I know the level of stupidity and idiotic bullshit that the Democratic Party has been stirring up and spitting out towards the American people, making it sound so damn true when it's not. As if all their promises that they'll go through and pull through, and yet they haven't. Case in point, Obama. And they think they can reinstate something that's already been taken apart and phased into something beneficial and positive for the American people. Case in point, the Obamacare rephased into something more affordable and beneficial for the American people when it comes to the healthcare situation, in which basically Mike Bloomberg will not be able to reinstate and build upon Obamacare whatsoever fucking ever. And Mike Bloomberg, I can guarantee you won't be able to do. I know. You just like you backed away from the Nevada thing, even before Super Tuesday. I know you're gonna. I have a feeling you're gonna back out on this challenge. I'll be damn surprised if you don't. Same thing with the other idiots in the DNC and the liberal idiots in the California and New York government, directed to the liberal fucking idiots, liberal democratic idiots. I can guarantee you, if I was in the government office, and I'm just saying if I was, the state of California would not be declared sanctuary. The city, and not one city in California would be declared sanctuary. Every child across the board in the state of California would be more than benefited, educational wise and healthcare wise. Their parents would be more than benefited. Same thing. And even if those who need additional education, and also employment situations, the the senior citizens would be benefited. The homeless would actually have a place to call home, even as they rebuild themselves up, even by volunteering which basically can easily lead to employment for them, where they'd be able to have clean clothing and bathing supplies and such like that. There is one thing though that I applauded. That many people may think, oh, the Democratic Party made that possible. Well, I don't think so. And what that is although I'm not going to say if it's still going on or even if it is or isn't or what, but but the one particular thing that I'm referring to is um, in San Francisco. There was a little setup to where they had an articulated muni bus that had no seating like a regular bus. Okay, it had a shower. It had a, a toilet. It had a changing room, and I don't know if this was added to it, but they could have also had. Also, I'm not saying if they did or didn't. I'm not, but they could have also had a medical facility within it as well, to where they'd be able to make sure that there was no harmful sicknesses or diseases. That's another addition that would have been added to it. Would have been a positive addition to it. But the keeping them clean and clothed was a positive. Making sure that making it more than possible for them to use the facilities instead of using you know grounds or what people walk on and drive over. You know. Now that particular operation, I do agree with. Whether if it's still happening in the first kill, I don't know. If it is, cool. If it isn't, then they should reinstate it and add a medical facility to make sure that there's no illnesses and sicknesses for that that involve the homeless population, and that sort of thing should be widespread across every state, including California. Yes, it happened in a California city, again being San Francisco, but it should be widespread across the fucking state, California as well as other states. Because there's more than a population within the one state of the population of the home. There's a large, maybe a percentage higher of the homeless in New York and D.C. and L and possibly other states as well, besides Florida. That's the only thing that I did and that I did agree with, and they should keep that going. A lot more frequent than they did in the beginning. Now that the challenge is put out, I'm going to give until, say, Monday of next week for any one of those idiots in the DNC, within the California Democratic government, and the New York Democratic government, any other state Democratic government, to take that challenge, including those in D.C., starting with Nancy Pelosi, to take the challenge that I put out there. Case in point, if you do not, what I've said about the Democratic Party is 100% true, and which basically more than is beneficial for the Republican, conservative, moderate, and regular Republican Party, which basically means that the American people are more will show it will show more more substantiated and substantial fact that the American people are more positively benefited by the Republican side of the party, of the political party, than they will ever be and ever have been, even before and after Obama in the Democratic Party. Which means that the Democratic Party is not the beneficial party for the American people or this country or our youth. The only ones that benefit the American people in a positive way, and this country and our youth in a positive way and level and whatnot, is the Republican, conservative, and moderate party, as well as the regular Republican Party next to Trump. Because Trump has done everything beneficial for the American people that unites the American people. The liberal Democrats want the American people to believe that Trump has divided this country. He hasn't. Trump has not divided the country. Trump has not torn apart Trump has not torn apart this country. So basically, Amy and the other idiots in the DNC are full of shit. And I still put out, and that challenge I put out there is still out. This is C.R.P.H.A, Humanitarian Advocate. If you have any questions or anything, please let me know. And believe me, I will put the video link of the video I did yesterday. That also has the link to the video that I did with my phone on the other video description that will be connected to the video link that I will put on the description of this video. Have a good day. May Heavenly Father bless the United States of America. May Heavenly Father bless our youth and the American people. And may Heavenly Father bless our troops and our veterans. And I thank the veterans for their service. And I thank our troops that are currently defending our country and are even at home, even after defending our country, and still in the actions of defending our country if needed. I still salute you and thank you for your service. And Trump for 2020 for President of the United States. Have a good day.